what are some of the most important terms or clauses that an artist that might be looking to sign a label deal maybe should be aware of?
Being aware of how the label is going to get their money and how, they're going to pay back your advance. And that's the other thing. Another great clause to think about is an advance in general. Because a lot of people think like, oh, I got a big advance. That's money in my pocket. Yes, it's money in your pocket right now, but you need to pay that advance back. It's not just free money that you get. Like it's more of a loan than anything else. So being clear on the terms of recoupment and, what happens if you don't recoup within a certain amount of time. Like, usually the contract gets extended for an extra period, or, there could be penalties. Like there's a lot that goes into advances that artists don't really think about. They just see the big number, the big bag, and we're like, sweet, let's go to the club,
Right.
And that's just
buy a
not
car.
right. Not a good investment to buy a car with your advance,
Right, 100%. And yeah,
So.
speaking of horror stories, those are also like some of the ones that I've heard where it's like, a label will pay for the studio time, they'll pay for flights or
Yep.
hotels or whatever, but then the artist doesn't even realize that they're the ones who are going to be floating the bill at the end of the day.
That's something to look at too, is, putting caps on the spend, like not letting a label just spend money without your approval or without, proper authorization, because it can get really expensive because at the end of the day, that is money that you have to pay back.
And I love how you just said, putting caps, because, in a contract, ideally, if you do have some leverage, then you probably could negotiate something like that. Like, hey, I don't want you guys spending all of this money and I'm not even like aware of it.
So, typically you'll see like a clause that says something like, any single expense over $5,000 or whatever has to be approved by the artist, or, any, aggregate expenses over $50,000 over the course of a month or 2 months, or, whatever. It depends on what the budget is, right? You'll usually, try to cap it in increments like that.